Go.
Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm in Asia and I'd like to tell a story from Asia. It's an old, ancient Indian story. And it's about when we change our mind. And it's called the Riddle of the Will. And it goes like this. A long time ago, in India, there was a father and he had 3 sons. And he was a guy who was quite obsessed with anything different. He liked puzzles, he liked riddles, he liked complicated things. He was also a man with great forethought. And he thought, you see, in those days, the tradition in India was that everybody, all the children and their children, would live all together in the family estate, so to speak. So this man was a farmer, and through hard work, he had made his money. But he thought, yes, but maybe at some point my sons may want to split up what they inherit. So he called them all together and he explained that, and he says, for if that happens, I'm writing down a will. Please promise me that you will follow that will. Then he put it out of his mind, and eventually he passed on. And his 3 sons had their families and their children growing up, and they were all living together. But as the children got older, and all kinds of arguments started to come about lack of space or lack of cooperation from this or that one. And so the 3 sons thought, yeah, maybe it is time that we dig up the will of our father. So they dug a hole and they found the will, and they thought they were going to find a document, but no. It was a big box with 3 pots in it. 1 pot filled with earth, 1 pot filled with bones, and 1 pot filled with charcoal. And they thought, what does that mean? They had no idea. And then they remembered how their father was fond of riddles. And so this must have been his last riddle. So they sought advice from the elders. The elders were flattered, but they also could not come up with any solution there. And they explained this to the whole family, and everybody thought about it, but nobody could help to solve the riddle. So they knew about a wise man who lived far away in the forest. Maybe he could help. So they went over there and eventually got to the man, and the man said, oh, that's pretty easy. If you only thought about it a little bit, you would have spared yourself coming over here. And the son says, no, we thought about it, but we couldn't figure it out. And he says, well, the pot with the earth means that one of you, probably the eldest, will inherit the land. And the pot with the bones, these are all animal bones, means that another one will inherit all the cattle. And the pot with the charcoal means that one will inherit whatever is under the ground, so all the gold in the family. That's a pretty fair way. And then the sons thanked him, went back, and when they came back home, through this whole process of talking, everybody with everybody, they had gotten to understand each other better. And nobody wanted to separate or go their own way. And they all stayed together, living on that big estate. If you have any comments on this story or suggestions for another one, do let me know. Thank you.